Well, here we are, just showing up to the job site and driving in the drive. It looks like the boys got all the logs set, which is a good thing. Yes, we just showed up again. This is now episode 2, and this is a custom log home built in Trout Creek, Montana. We got here this morning, and on my last video I showed how we did the subfloor. And while we were gone, I had our other crew come back that actually built it at Metal Arc, and they set all the logs. So they took I think 2.5 days to do that. So they got all that done. Now it's our turn to come back and do the roof. I actually had my crew came yesterday, and I wasn't able to come yesterday, but they put all the cedar around the subfloor, which looks really good around the decks. They finished the decks. So now our job is going to be for the next week and a half-ish to get this roof completely dried in, and then we're going to come back and do the windows and doors. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Get started putting our tongue and groove pine on the roof, and that's going to take a while. It's a fair-sized roof with a lot of valleys and corners and all that, so it's definitely a fair-sized job, so better hop to it. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick walk around here and kind of show you this thing. It's got some glass that will be going up there. It's got a deck on both sides right here, and yes, there you can see the cedar, and it rained last night, but yep, the cedar fascia along the bottom there, which looks really good. And we use a 2-inch drop down there, so from the deck up to the subfloor. This is a 2x8 wood that we cut at Metal Arc Log Homes, and there's a little pop out going on here. I'm not sure, I kind of forget what's going in here. I think maybe a bathtub or something. Don't really remember for sure, but it'll be cool. It's got an archway in there, a lot of corners, lots and lots of corners. 20 corners in this whole house, 20 outside corners along the perimeter. So kind of hard to tell what's happening here, but just kind of give you an idea. There's lots and lots and lots of corners. It's definitely a very custom home, but it'll be pretty when it's all done. Definitely gonna be a big project. All right, better hop to it. Lunchtime, and that's what we got on. Got everything squared up, everything ready to go, and we got started on our decking. Got this porch deck done here, and of course we got to cut off the ends and everything, but that's nailed on there, and we got this part of this roof on, so it's getting there. Well, we ate a good lunch, and now we're busy putting tongue and groove on. It's going to take us all day today and probably most of tomorrow to finish it. But with good help, these guys are working like a banshee or something. A tomcat. They'll be fast. That's the end of day 1 on the roof. We got quite a bit done. We got all this side done, and what took a while was, I'll show you some of these details underneath here. It always takes a while when you've got little intricate details to do. We had to make these corners match up here, and that's always tough to make that look just perfect. And there's another one right there. And then we got the porch on the other side done. So I think by tomorrow we'll have everything, all the tongue and groove on the roof, which is gonna be great. And then hopefully by next Tuesday we'll be ready for the electrician to come and the spray foam insulation. So it's getting there. Day 2, I got both of my boys along to help as well. They're starting to wear a tool belt now, which is pretty awesome. they can help pretty good. They're 13. They can pack boards and nail and all that stuff. So we got all this side done yesterday, and we're gonna see if we can get everything else, all the tongue and groove on the roof today. So that's the goal. Better get started here. It looks like it might rain today, but hopefully not. So if it does, we're gonna have to cover it up. We can stand a little rain, but not a lot. Well, we're going for it. All we got left to do is this area right here. Might get all the tongue and groove on today, hopefully. A lot of these corners to match up, these overhangs, so these are a real challenge. But we're getting it. Nice, hot, muggy Montana afternoon. It's about as muggy as it gets here. With all this rain, all this green grass everywhere, bugs. It's actually not too bad. Shouldn't complain, but it is kind of muggy. It is supposed to be raining here, I think, tonight or tomorrow or something like that. So got to get this, all the tongue and groove on. That's all we got left right there. Then we have to get everything trimmed up. Most everything's trimmed up already. We have to cut the ends of the logs off, the purlins and the ridge pole and the roof line log. Get that all trimmed off. And we have to get a rim on next. And then we have to get some more boards on up there. It's kind of hard to explain, but you're going to see later. Then we can put some titanium on to keep it dry. Dry if it starts to rain. But here I got to show you this fancy pantsy here. Look at that cool cut. Joseph did that. That looks pretty sweet. That's all done, so we don't have to do that later. And we had to kind of put this fascia on here to get started so we could finish this corner off. Anyways, it's getting there. Nice and toasty and warm. Yep, we have to cut off these ends of these purlins yet. We leave a couple inches so we can cut everything off. And that's the story of that right there. Well, there it is, day 2. It's got a roof on it. It'll shed water somewhat. But yeah, we got all the tongue and groove on, and that is such a good feeling to get that all done. So we're actually going to spend the night here close by in a close by town here of Knoxon, just because it's like I said, it's a good hour and a half drive, so that's 3 hours a day driving. So we can get an early start tomorrow morning. Hopefully we can get the rim on in the morning, and tomorrow, and our 2x4s on, and get the thing buttoned up so weather can't get to it over the weekend. Well, it definitely looks like rain this morning. I'm hoping that we don't get any till we get this thing covered. Our goal here today is to get all our OSB rim board on and all our purlin ends cut off, all our 2x4s on flat on the roof. And what the 2x4s do is we put our BCIs or TJI conventional eye joists on top of the 2x4s that are flat, so that their foam, spray foam, goes underneath the BCIs, and it makes a completely solid insulation roof. So we got to put titanium roofing underlayment over everything, so that in case, well, it looks like it rain the next 4 days, so that roof stays dry. If the decking gets wet day after day, it can actually buckle, and then you got to let it dry out, and that's a pain. So I'm gonna try to get this thing covered before it rains. It's Friday. We got to get her done so we can get home, spend the weekend with our families. Well, I got the boys nailing these 2x4s off. They're pretty good as a team. I can barely tell them apart. Look how same they look. I just got to remember which one's got a tool belt on. Well, we got all the 2x4s on. It's been a couple hours now, and our tongue and groove eye joists are going to sit right on these 2x4s, and that's going to create so that insulation goes. When we put insulation, it's a solid sheeting of insulation underneath here. So the next thing, we got to put all our rim on, and I had Jonathan cut all the ends of our purlins off. We'll see if he did a straight job here. Yeah, it looks like he did a pretty good job. It's awesome. He went all the way around and cut everything off. Now we're getting ready to put rim on. He's sitting on there waiting on me. Lunchtime, and we put all our 2x4s on, cut off all our ends, and almost got all our rim on. We're just needing to do this side over here yet, but we ran short, unfortunately. That means Monday we'll have to bring another one, so. But we got lots to do. We can frame up the porch, put all our titanium on, and then it's probably about quitting time. But we're hungry and it's time for lunch. Not used to this humid weather in Montana. Doesn't usually get humid, but it is humid now. Hallelujah. We got everything done, and it is quitting time. It's gonna shed water. It's a little bit rough, but I didn't staple anything in the centers in the field because I don't want it to leak. So, and we got these 2x4s on here, so I need a little bit of slack so when we walk up and down it doesn't tear. But we got everything done. Still, I'm gonna need to get rim for there, around there, and I need one piece for the back here. But everything else there is done. I need a piece for there. So I have to bring some pieces on Monday, but it'll shed water. We'll be back probably on Monday unless it's really raining. So much for this beautiful day. Just gotta show you the mountains in the background. It is just really pretty. It's a Cabinet Mountain Wilderness, looking from the south toward the north, and from our house we're looking from the east looking west at them. That is just real pretty. And there's another peak right behind this tree here. There you can kind of see it through the trees, but I believe that might be Angle Peak. Been on the top of that one. But yep, super beautiful afternoon. Hard to imagine it's gonna rain here a couple days, but that's what happens. All right, I will finish this next week. Okay, so we got back here. I lost track of days. We're back on Monday here, and we got a late start because of a lot of things, but we're getting these 2x8 rafters cut for our porch rafters, so we're gonna be putting these up. We got finished our rim, and the next thing is the rafters, so we're cutting them right now. Okay, well, we're just getting ready to call it a day. We've got all our rafters up, and everything is ready for the electrician now to show up. So we've had some rain over the weekend, and it's looking like rain the last couple days. It rained some, and tomorrow it's supposed to rain. So we had the electrician just hold off until we get everything done and all the rafters put up, and this rain moves on, because once we start drilling holes for the electrical and then you get water going underneath there, then the stuff can happen. So we don't want anything to warp or buckle or anything, so everything's dry. We put all the rafters up and just put a couple nails in, just like on the top and the bottom, just the minimum amount of nails. So I think everything's good to go. What we're going to do tomorrow when we come back is put on the cedar fascia. So Justin and Foster put on the railing on here and on the front. It looks really nice. That makes it pop. And we'll put cedar fascia on, and then while we wait on the electrician and the spray foam insulation guy, we'll be working on windows and doors installation for the inside. So that's kind of what's happening. And it was a nice and cool day today. It was nice to work compared to how hot it had been. But next week it looks like it's going to be back to warm weather, but we might be working on the inside mainly, so that's going to be good. So that's kind of what's happening, and I think we're going to head out of here and head home. Well, here we are putting on fascia today, and we get hit with all kinds of weather. Here's hailing. It's hailing like crazy. Unbelievable. Just nuts. Anyways, it was hot a minute ago, hot the other day. It's supposed to be 90 degrees next week. I guess that's weather for you. If you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes. I don't mind it. It's pretty nice, really. It's cools it right down. Smells so good and fresh. What we got done so far today, it looks pretty nice. Getting our cedar fascia put on, as you can tell, going up around there, all the way around there, and now we're coming up across here. And then we kind of went around that side over there. Well, we're back on the job today. It's a beautiful warm day today. And we got the spray foam roofers up on the job here. I brought my brother-in-law Marcus, actually two of my brother-in-laws working together today. And they're installing the spray foam. That stuff is really good product. They're putting 5 inches, I believe, in. They just spray the stuff right on and it expands up. They're doing a really good job of getting it nice and uniform. Going over some lights there and everything. Pretty incredible stuff. We're just working on finishing up the fascia today. Should be able to get that done. As well as I got one of the guys, Joseph, is cutting out the windows. Getting started doing that, so should get quite a bit done today. Getting all the fascia wrapped around. Should be done in a couple hours with that, I think. Probably after lunch sometime. Here, Joseph's cutting the slots in the windows for our angle iron to fit in. Like he's got a couple of these done already. The bevel on the outside right there, looking good. A couple more of the doors done over here. Now this will all get sanded right here. We've all got to sand all that, and then this is going to be covered with the buck and then trim on the inside right here. So don't, and then be cedar on the outside. So you're only going to see this part from here on out. Sand all that. We're putting the spray foam on down here in the crawl space. A lot of fumes. 2 inches everywhere. And the outside rim, we got that covered really good. Nice warm floor down here. So here we're up on the roof, and this right here is the chimney that we framed out. That will be for the chimney box. Yep, we got all this spray foam in here. This is some super duper good insulation up here. Yep. It's the best that you can get. It's a little bit more expensive, but it'll save you in the long run a lot of heating and cooling because your house is just super tight. It's awesome stuff. What a pretty day. It's really warm today. It's supposed to get even warmer. It's the Cabinet Mountains over there. Well, it's a beautiful balmy 84 degrees today. Or it's supposed to be. It's not quite that warm yet, but it's pretty warm. So we're getting the OSB on the roof here and hopefully get some titanium on today. And we just slapped on the last piece. Hallelujah. Wow. We are done with the OSB.
There you go.
A lot of sheets. A lot of sheets here. But it's amazing. Look what we got left. We got some scraps and one sheet left. That's pretty phenomenal. I forgot to mention that on the tongue and groove, we literally had one good piece left on the tongue and groove. Cutting her pretty close. But it's gonna be a pretty nice roof. Now tomorrow we'll come back and put titanium and ice and water shield all over it. Okay, well today, now that we have all the OSB on the roof, we're putting this ice and water shield down in all the valleys and in all the flat areas. So this whole porch roof, all the valleys are all gonna get this ice and water shield. And then we're gonna put titanium on it. So hopefully by noon or so, before it gets too super hot, we're gonna get this stuff on. It's really a pain to work up here if it's hot. This stuff will just stick to the roof and you can't peel it off. It literally melts to the roof. So I got Ethan and Foster and myself are up here. Joseph's gonna be downstairs making a lot of noise, cutting out windows. And we're gonna try to get this done. I think this is the hottest day of the year. It's in the high 80s. Woo, it's really hot up here. But we're getting it. Gotta get her done. Gotta get her done. There's Ethan putting the last of the staples in. I think that just about does it, bro. Wow. We got it blacked in. It took a lot longer than I expected with all this heat. But we got it. That's what the important thing is. All done, all done. Now we're gonna come back and put shingles on in about a week or so. First we gotta get the windows all done and the doors installed. And then we'll come back and put the shingles on. Wow, what a beautiful but exceedingly warm day. Gotta be in the 90s. Well, we're just wrapping up, getting ready to head home. And this is the kind of the southwest side of the house. I'll do a quick walk around, show you the corners. I think all the windows and doors are cut out now. They just need to be sanded. See the bevels on there, all these corners. Like I said, 20 corners on this house. Pretty incredible. Little pop out there, I think for his bath or something. Kind of what it looks like from this side. It's a really cool design, really is. Just took a lot longer to do everything just because there's so many corners. But that's kind of to be expected. Got the railing all squared up and everything there, so that looks pretty good. Come around this side. We got the window box in the upstairs fixed glass area there. Still have to get those measurements. But this is kind of looking north right here. Get around this tree. And this is gonna be the front side where he comes in his house. Got all the railing squared up and everything. This is pretty cool. It's a neat design with that little roof covering the entryway. Yep, pretty cool. Well, we come back at a wedding this weekend, and we come back next week and get the windows put in and start on the roof.